Hi Scrappy friends, welcome to my channel today. This is Hannah and I am working on some Project Life. I will apologize just a smidge because for half of this, the angle is a little funky. I'm not sure what happened. I guess I just had my camera tilted a little bit too much, but I think that you can still see what I'm doing good enough. Also, this is, well, it's Project Life, so it does take me a little bit longer to do Project Life because I do make some of my own cards. This is for week 14, so that is, gosh, I really should have looked. The very end of March, maybe, beginning of, I don't know, it's the week right before Easter, so I'm not really sure. I can tell you if I look it up. But it is, let's see. So I want to say it's like the 29th through the 4th, I think. But it could have been, no, it might be the 5th through the 11th. I think that's the week that it was. So I think that's week 14 for me. I had glue stuck on my scissors. So, I had some leftover bits from my layout that I did for my scrap bin series where I did a whole bunch of fussy cutting. So I'm going to use a little bit of that flour and that paper with some other papers from Citrus Twist. I am using some stuff from Citrus Twist, but that's Felicity Jane. So, but I'm also looking for something else to add. My cat, she's in my room right now. She's very distracting. She's on my desk and she's swishing stuff around. So if you hear swishing, I'm not sure if you can hear it or not. But anyway, I found this little piece from Pink Fur Studio that had like a date, like some calendar-like stuff. So I'm going to put this down for part of the layer. And it adds just another little fun color. And I'm going to just add some little enamel dots. Like I said, this angle is a little funky, so you will see me a little bit more in it. The good thing is because of the way that it is, you shouldn't see me blocking it too much. So a lot of times what I like to do is cut my photos down, especially for the pockets. I will say I work on this like halfway and then I still needed more photos because I'm doing a double page spread. I like to use Design A if I can. It just seems to work quite good for me. So I do have some other ones, but I generally don't pull them out. For a while, I was doing the 9x12 ones, and those are kind of fun, too, to add. I don't think I have any more of those left, though. So, I do like to add my dates to the back when I print them, just so that I know what the date is when I go to put it in. I will also say that while I was doing this, I was talking to Megan. So, I used to do this a lot, but just not film it and talk with Megan. We FaceTime each other once a week usually, and so I would do Project Life a lot just because it was something I could do and not have to worry about thinking too much. So I don't know. I might need to just do that a little bit more. And just not record it so I can get a little bit more caught up. I feel like I'm getting a little bit behind now that it's getting closer to fall time and I'm still not in the summer. But I tend to get to about this time of the year and then kind of fizzle out. I don't know. And I find that when I'm doing a lot more scrapbooking on layouts that I do less Project Life, which is fine. I mean, I don't need to double tell stories, but this year I really want to stick with it because a lot of stuff has just happened in our world, and this is one way that I'm trying to stay on top of that. I mean, I'm not putting everything in here. So I am fussy cutting the flowers out of there because I have the other flowers, and these are different colors. The other ones were pink. These are like a teal color. And then I had this, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to finish. Do I use it like that? No, I don't end up using that piece. I do end up using it later, I think, though. That other Maggie Holmes paper that's like really similar. So that back page is from Citrus Twist. So I, for a while, was getting their kits, and then I stopped, and so now I'm getting their kits again. But these are all old kits, so you get so much stuff with them. So even if you're just wanting to get some stuff for a few months, you can easily get a kit from them and then have leftovers. I always have more, like I have way more stuff than I probably need for Project Life. But I do like to get the cards if I can bring myself to use them. I think that's the only problem that I have with Project Life, because I do make a lot of my cards. I have to remind myself that I can use the cards that they give just for, journaling purposes. So, of course, because this week is not as heavy on the photos, I am having to make more cards, which is fine. It's not like a big deal. I did think about adding some more of these. I'm trying to remember exactly what I did. I added some smaller ones, I think, and those leaves. So, like, I have a little wooden box that you can kind of see there. And in there, I have some different containers. So I have some labels in one, because you get a ton of labels, like cut apart labels. And then, they're like label tags. And then you get like their die cuts and stuff. And so I have the die cuts all in one area, and then I have some really small like die cut pieces or like phrase stickers. So you're going to see my cat a lot because she just likes to hang out in my window, which is right there, and she is always coming and going, especially if I'm sitting at my desk. So I had this half of label, and I really like the color. So I'm going to play around with where I want to put it to make it work. I mean, I really didn't need it there, but I just felt like I wanted just a little bit something more. I did use that Pretty Little Studio Alpha, like tile alpha for week. And then I'm just going to put this today. I thought that looked really pretty. I really didn't need it there. I'm trying to remember if I ended up going back and stamping the dates. I do like to add the dates to the week card. Don't remember if I did that or not. So, and because this is a March-April layout spread, I can easily add, springtime stuff, even though it is still very wet in Washington at this point. We start to have a little bit more sun and a lot more flowers, I will say. Springtime in the Pacific Northwest, you start getting the flowers. Though they're not like flowers in other places, I feel like. Or it's like all of a sudden they're out and then they're gone, the spring flowers. So this is one of the other one. I think this is one that I printed off later, but I'm not positive about that. So as you can see, now it's a different day. So this is where my footage should be a lot better at this point. And I just did that like a 3x3 and then, or a little bit smaller than a 3x3. And I'm just going to put that there. Yeah. So this is after I printed some extra photos just because I just didn't think I had enough, which is some weeks I don't have enough because I didn't take any. And this week I did have some and I just wasn't sure how many I wanted. So this is actually a Scraptastic little card. And so I'm just going to do some journaling about the kids playing. The kids were playing a lot with their Legos that week. they go back and forth, and it's fun to document it. And sometimes I just have to remind myself to do it, the different things that they choose to do each week. Of course, I will say this summer is a lot different. I definitely did not take enough photos, but we did a lot of the same stuff this summer. I feel like this summer we did a lot less activity type stuff, and we usually do a lot more and try to make use of the summer, because here in the Pacific Northwest, you have spring where it rains all winter and then spring, and then it's nice and then it rains. So I'm not sure what I was doing. It took me a long time to journal that. My kids might have been coming up and down asking me stuff. So because it is summertime, and so I spent a lot of time down in my room this summer. This has nothing to do with week 14 though. So I should stay on week 14. But yeah. So I did try to do some documenting, and all 3 of those photos are from the same day. They had the like Star Wars Legos and stuff. They build a whole bunch of different fun stuff. So I wanted to, make sure I got some fun shots of that, especially since I didn't have a ton of photos like overall for the week, but I had a few from the same day. And I don't mind doing that on a spread. Like if I have a few photos that I really enjoy and I think they'll look really pretty in the pockets. I will say I'm not always interested in getting the prettiest pictures in my pockets. I mean, I definitely try to have some kind of focus. Like I don't like a whole bunch of like really crazy photos. And so I like to balance it with, some fun shots, some food shots, some real life shots. It's like I don't have time to like push stuff out of the way all the time in these photos, but I do like to have some kind of focus, because otherwise I get kind of like overwhelmed if it's just like a lot of clutter all throughout. Plus, I want to remember these little fun moments and not the fact that I had clutter in my house, because I was focusing on the fun stuff, right? But so I actually posted this photo in a layout, and so my husband made a wine rack and he put it up. So during quarantine, that was one thing he did that week. So I wanted to make sure I documented that, and it looks really nice and pretty. And we actually bought some really nice tasting glasses, which are up at the top. So that's just part of our kitchen, and it's nice. The sun was it was either really cloudy or just sunny, and you can see. I thought that looked pretty, even though it's kind of cluttered. But it, wasn't a bad cluttered, I guess. So this was a meal that we had made. So one thing we've been trying to do is not to cook. Well, and we do this a lot often anyway. We are a very cultural family as far as what we eat. We don't like to just stick with one thing. We get bored pretty quick if we're always eating the same thing, especially if it's like more American food. And so my husband really wanted to cook squid. So he got those little, or octopus, I guess I should say, because I think that's more octopus. And so we were at Whole Foods, and we don't go to Whole Foods very often, but it's one place that we do like to go to sometimes. It's just far enough away that we spend a ton of money when we go out towards there, and we can get some of that stuff other places too. But anyway, so he's seen that there, and so we made sure we got it. And so we put that in a pasta, and actually the kids really enjoyed it, which is sometimes it's hit or miss whether they like stuff or not. Like some of the stuff that we try they don't like, and sometimes they do. And I know like this around this time we were having a really hard time with our daughter, having problems eating some of the stuff, even though she's never really been like that. I think she was just dealing with some past stuff from having celiacs and stuff, and realizing that now she's feeling better and not sure what stuff. And with all the stuff with Corona, I think it just made her anxiety. But anyway, the kids really enjoyed this. So it's definitely something we need to make again. It was just really fun, and I really liked taking a photo and seeing all the little octopus little thingies. I think it's one of the things that we've been doing during quarantine that's been kind of fun. Or, well, we've been staying home. I guess I shouldn't say we're not really in quarantine anymore, but a lot of stuff is still closed down. And we're still trying to stay home as much as possible. So that, because multiple of us are at risk. So, I must be watching TV at this point because I kind of take time. I'm not sure if I think I was talking about the Rhine rack in there. And I didn't need like a whole lot of journaling, but I did end up filling up a little bit more than that little tag. So it would have been nice if I thought and maybe had a bigger tag. So here is the second page. It took me a lot longer to do the first side than the second side, but I think some of it is just that getting everything ready. And so I have this nice, really big photo of some mixed media pieces that me and my husband did. This was one thing that we were going to try to do during quarantine and we never finished. But we did do this part. We were going to work on a layout together. I think we were just trying to find ways to do stuff together differently, especially with being home all the time. But, you know how that is when you're married. Sometimes it's easy to get into the same mode of just doing the same things. And so we were trying to do some different stuff. So even though he's not very artsy and scrapbooky, we did work on this together and it was kind of fun. It was fun to see our personalities. And I don't remember. I think that's what the little piece it says, you be you or something like that. And it was just perfect because you could see my husband and his his personality and because his was he had to line up the stencil and I just put the stencil all over and mine is the one that has all the different colors. So, or you can see the color. I think we use similar colors on ours, but, so it was just kind of something fun. So this photo is a picture of me. One of the things that I did during quarantine is I changed the hair shampoo that I was using. So I started getting Monet. And so that first wash, I made sure I took a picture of myself. And when I look back at this photo, my hair looks horrible as far as it is super like stringy and looks so unhealthy. And I know a lot of it is because one, I have lupus, if many of you guys don't know. And I also have another immune disorder. And so especially with the lupus, it throws my hair off like majorly. I lose hair a lot. I have really thin hair. And on top of that, I also like to dye my hair fun colors. And so sometimes those fun colors have a lot more stuff in it. So that is what I'm just journaling about. Now that was a Citrus Twist card. And I really liked the different colors. I feel like it tied in some of the other stuff, but just kind of kept it simple. And I found this thing that said spring and grow. I'm not sure where those were from, but I thought about using the grow and have it like be over 2. And I was like, I didn't know how that was going to work. I also pulled out some Pretty Little Studio sheets. I'm going to add this flower. So I do want to add elements to this other side that are on the other side of the spread. That is one thing that I tried to do. Here's my cat again. She really was just, I'm not sure what it was, but she was like all up in my space while I was doing this. And I had to cut some of it out. Like here she is just sitting right on there. So that's Amberly. She wants me to pet her, but I will say she may seem like she's a nice cat, but she's very limited in her niceness. So I don't often pet her for very long because sometimes she comes there because she really just wants to be fed and she will bite me. So if I pet her too much and she decides she's done. So yeah. So she's a quite interesting cat, but it's fun when she comes up and actually requires attention from me because she often just does her own thing and is happy to do so, like many cats, right? So here I'm just journaling about, I think that's another Citrus Twist card too. So So I was just journaling about that. Flower photo, my dad, he works as he did. He worked where he put up stuff at stores, basically like a merchandiser. So basically stuff gets sent to like certain stores, different displays, and they make sure the display is up or the product is up that needs to be according to a plan, because companies will have a plan of how they want their product to be arranged. And so he will go into like Walmart's, Targets. He was working some like movie places too, where they have like displays and stuff. So yeah, but one of the days, I don't know, he just came home with flowers for me. So it was really nice. Now, at this point, my parents actually were living with us. There's my daughter coming in, looking and seeing what there's pictures of. Probably really sad that I didn't have any pictures of the cat this week. So I'm almost done. I'm trying to figure out what to put in that last card. I did do that spring on the other card on the flowers. I really liked it. It just kind of tied everything, the flowers together. And then I decided to use this multicolored because I had the hearts with the multi, and I'm going to add this other card to the bottom. Or no, I think that was another, it was like a lined paper it was a 6x8 or whatever size. And then I just added some hearts, also similar colors. And then I'll do journaling. That's just a picture of my dog and my husband looking out the window. Either my dad was coming or going. I don't remember. See, this is things that I probably should write down, but I think he was coming home, and or maybe he was going out to get my mom. So they might have left, but they were looking out. The dog loves to look out the window and see who's coming and who's going into the house. And especially when someone pulls in or pulls out of the driveway, she loves to stand up there and look out. And so it was just funny to see both my husband and the dog doing it. At this point, my husband's working from home. So, she was getting a lot of attention from Daddy. Very much enjoyed that. But I'm just about done, so you're going to see all the close-ups. Thank you guys if you've watched this whole entire video, watching me rant and talk a little bit about how I did things and talk about the stories behind it. I think that's one of the things that is kind of fun about doing Project Life. I have a little bit more time to tell you about the stories that are going on in our life. And I mean, this year has just been like a little bit different, but similar to how a lot of things have been. But it's just been fun to try to document it and, keep things fresh. But anyway, I will see you guys later. Have a great, great week. And if you like this, thumbs up, and just, let me know if you want me to keep sharing my project life as I'm working on it. So, bye.